Ever been frustrated about your diet or anxious when the diet is actually over? Today we're going to share with you our L.A.W diet, which hopefully will transform the way you look at food and diets. Hi, this is Dr. Christensen. Welcome to my office. Today I'm going to share with you what we in the office are calling the L.A.W diet. The L.A.W diet stands for Longevity and Wellness Diet, which is part of the L.A.W plan that we've put together. I've been studying diets and nutrition for probably nearly 40 years now, and one of the things that has been frustrating for me and for many of you is that most diets they work for a time, but as soon as you're off them, you're back to where you began, or worse, you've gained more weight. Diets are always going to be a part of us, and what we want to help our patients and you understand is that we don't want to follow a diet, but we want to adopt a lifestyle, and that's an important distinction. And so really what this whole health program is designed to do is to help us to live healthy and live long. We want a long lifespan, but we also, more importantly, want a long health span. I tell people that I want to die all at once. I don't want to die one part at a time, and that's what we often see with people. They begin to experience health problems. They lose their energy. They lose their pancreas function. They become diabetic. They may get a pacemaker put in. They could end up on dialysis. They lose their mind. And it may take 20 years for that person to die. Me and I think many of you, when we die, we want to die healthy. We want to die, as I say, all at once. And so what we've done in the office here is we've examined and we've looked at what I call the longevity studies, the studies of cultures or people or villages that have an incredibly long lifespan and an incredibly long health span. Health span is defined as how long you are reasonably healthy, meaning that your function, that you're mentally aware and acute and be able to participate and enjoy life. And so there was a book written years ago called The Blue Zones, and they chronicled 5 different tribes or communities of people who had an exceptionally high rate of centenarians, or people that have lived to be 100 years old in good health. And we've examined what they eat. Another book, The Longevity Plan, written by Dr. John Day, who's a cardiologist in Salt Lake. And he looked at a group of people in a village in China, a village referred to as Longevity Village. And again, looked at what they were eating, what their lifestyles entailed. And so what we've done is we've looked at these, and we've looked at a few others, and we've correlated what their diet was. And it's very interesting to note that with one exception, these tribes or group of people were not vegetarians at all. They ate meat, but they ate very, very little meat, very sparingly. And they were not neurotic, if you will, about adherence to a particular diet, but their lifestyle incorporated foods that were natural, that were whole, that were healthy, and the result was a very, very healthy, good diet. They also avoided the processed foods. Now, in large part because these people were in remote or not in mainstream cities. They were remote from all the modern conveniences that literally, I believe, are poisoning many of us. And so what I'd like to share with you today is this dietary plan. And what we've done is we've created some checklists that you could go through the diet on a daily basis and keep track of what you're doing. Not in an effort to be a bean counter or to figure out every little nuance and have intense accountability, but to show you where your diet is, what you need to emphasize more of and not. And we'll get into that in a little bit. And so when we look at the L.A.W diet, and we'll post this on the video for you to see, and I'll just kind of go through this. I've incorporated a lot of stuff from a Dr. Michael Greger, who is a researching medical doctor. He just digs and digs, and he tries to find the truth as far as diet and nutrition. And based on a lot of his research, he's correlated things that fit in right with this longevity and wellness diet that we've put together. And so we've used some of his things. I've incorporated things from several other sources that you can reference. But again, looking at what works, but also what has been documented and proven to be healthy. And so the first thing that we do when we're looking at this is there's a list of the different types of foods that we have here, and there's boxes. And so the box on the chart represents a serving, and then to the right side it tells you what a serving is. And so when you're eating through the day, you can check a box, and you'll be able to get a gauge of how you're doing for the day, what you may need to eat as a snack at the end of the day, or where you may be falling short. So the first item that we have here is beans, and this one throws people back a little bit. Often people don't eat as much beans as they did when they were young and growing up. In our family, as a financially struggling student, 35 years ago, we ate a lot of beans and rice, and that was our fare because that's what we could afford. Beans is probably one of the great superfoods, and contrary to what some are saying in the dietary media today, beans are not a harmful food. Here's one of the misconceptions. Beans do have something in them called a lectin, and a lectin is an irritant to the digestive tract. And if you were to eat a handful of beans, and it would cause some digestive disturbance. But one of the things the people promoting the diet against beans and lectins don't take into consideration, or at least don't acknowledge, is that we cook our beans. We don't eat hard, dry, crunchy beans. If I give you a handful of dried pinto beans, you're not going to be tempted to put them in your mouth, crunch them up, and swallow them down. What you want to do is you want to cook the beans so they're nice and soft and tender, and that destroys almost all of the lectins in it. And so the lectin issue really is unfounded. And personally, I believe it's a gimmick to sell supplements that are unwarranted as well. Here's what we find. With the little bit of lectin that is left in the beans, as it enters the large intestines, it actually has an anti-cancer producing ability. And so a person who is eating beans on a regular basis has less incidence of colon cancer or bowel problems. And so, again, beans are probably one of the healthiest foods that we can eat, not only nutritionally, but anti-cancer. The fiber on beans provides what's called a prebiotic, which is what the probiotics, or the good bacteria in your gut, need to live off of. And so when we have a high fiber diet, the probiotics that we consume, whether it's through a pill or a tablet or a food, will take up residence there. And that's the hallmark of a very healthy digestive tract. And so on our chart here, we've got 3 helpings of beans. A helping of beans, or a serving of beans, would be a half a cup of cooked beans, or a fourth a cup of like hummus. That is like a bean dip that you would have. The next item on our list, and this is where I usually have people start out with, is a half a cup of berries every day. And so that's often an easy place to start. And so if you're new to this diet or eating healthy, one of the things that I encourage people to do is, come heck or high water, get a half a cup of fresh or frozen berries every day. Berries, again, are one of the superfoods in our diet. They provide lots of vitamin C. They're loaded with antioxidants, and so very, very healthy. Underneath that is we encourage people to have 3 helpings of fruit. Now here's the interesting thing with fruit. Fruit is one of the very, very healthy foods that we eat, but it's important that you eat the whole fruit. And so one of the deceptions that many people have been sucked into today is the notion that if I'm drinking fruit juice, then that's going to be very healthy. But we find that the concentration of the sugars, the fructose in fruit juice, when the fiber is removed, is actually very harmful for the health. And so the body, when it sees so much sugar, fructose coming in all at once, it processes this fructose the same way it does alcohol. And so the rapid increase of fructose in the blood can result in what's called non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, something we didn't see much in the past, but it's just rampant now. One study I saw said that about 38% of the U.S. population has a degree of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. And this is a direct result of the high fructose corn syrup in the soda pop and the foods that we eat, but even drinking fresh fruit juice. And I know this is going to upset some people when they use their juicer and they juice their fruit, but we do need the fiber. And so we encourage a smoothie which retains the fiber over the juicer. Once in a while, yeah, that may be okay. Anything once in a while, you're probably going to be okay with. It's not what you eat some of the time, it's what you eat most of the time that really matters. And so the next item on the list is the cruciferous vegetables. This is your broccoli, your cauliflower, your kale, your Brussels sprouts. What we want to do is we want to do a cup of raw a day or a half a cup of cooked. Anti-cancer, very, very nutritious, something that should be part of our diet on nearly a daily basis. It's so healthy for us. Under that, we have greens. 2 cups of greens. This can be your salad greens. This could be spinach. This could be sprouts. We grow in the office here pea sprouts, and again, those are very, very rich and nutritious. They're high in fiber. One thing that we don't encourage too heavily is the iceberg lettuce. This is a genetic hybrid that was designed to pack and ship real well. Often we've joked that iceberg lettuce is water disguised as a vegetable. Again, it's not unhealthy, but you're not going to get the nutritional quality of the deep greens that we like to get. As far as other vegetables, we're talking carrots and peas and zucchini, sweet potatoes, squash. Again, a cup of raw or a half a cup of cooked, 2 servings of that. So when we look at our diet so far, lots of fruits and vegetables. In order to avoid cancer, statistically, they say the more fruits and vegetables you eat, the better results. Often we're told to eat 5 servings. With this so far, you're going to get about 10 servings. And so again, real healthy, real nutritious, getting that whole natural foods in. Next we come to the omega fats, and this can be taken in as a supplement. Often a tablespoon of ground flaxseed will get you that. A supplement of the omega-3s, your cod liver oil, your omega-3 type oil. Included in that would be grass-fed butter, so a real butter. We like the brand Kerrygold, which comes from Ireland and has less toxins detected in that than the organic butter in the United States, just because the air is so much cleaner because the wind coming off the ocean. Next item is nuts and seeds. A handful of nuts and seeds. This can be almonds, cashews, Brazil nuts, walnuts, chia seeds, pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, 1/4 a cup every day. Again, often health is benefited by the continual input of nutrients on a daily basis or near daily basis. You'll find, like most of us, as we go through this checklist, we miss a few things by the end of the day. But what we're doing is we're creating a trend and a pattern that's important. Herbs and spices. I recommend that we use lots of herbs and spices, whether you're taking an herbal supplement like our Three Kings formula, which is got gold, frankincense, and myrrh. The gold being turmeric and fenugreek, using cinnamon, using fresh herbs. All of these things are going to be beneficial for your diet. The next item that we have on our list is whole grains. And whole grains are anything ranging from wheat and spelt that's freshly ground, made into a sourdough bread, or crackers. It could be brown rice, it could be quinoa, it could be amaranth, it could be, any of the grains that we eat. It could be corn, popcorn. Interesting to note that popcorn is never GMO. They haven't GMO'd popcorn. So if you've got organic popcorn, again, organic isn't GMO either, but if you've got popcorn that's got some real butter on it and some sea salt, that's actually going to be a very healthy snack for you to enjoy. So 3 servings of whole grains, half a cup of cereal or pasta, 3 cups of popcorn, a tortilla, a slice of whole wheat or sourdough bread is going to be best. The next item here, we have water and herbal teas. And so we want to have at least 6 12-ounce glasses of water or tea. Many people fall short on that. And so again, just by observing what you're doing is important, and you can increase your water as you need. The next item we have here is bone broth. We encourage bone broth in our diet. It helps with the joints. It helps with the ligaments and tendons. It helps to heal the digestive tract. You can use bone broth when you make your rice as the liquid in your rice. There's lots of ways to use bone broth, and we encourage people to do that. We were at a seminar several months ago. A renowned herbalist from Australia was speaking, Lee Carroll. And so we were curious to see how our diet plan would match up with him. And we were very pleased because after the seminar, the only thing we changed or added to our diet plan was chocolate. And he was quoting some studies showing that 0.7 ounces, or we're telling people between a half an ounce and 1 ounce of dark chocolate a day is actually very healthy, which we've always promoted, but again, to see some scientific validation of that is important. And so that, in essence, is the daily diet. We shift to the weekly diet, and so there are several things that we encourage people to eat throughout the week. One of the things the longevity studies showed is that the people who were living to be very long and very healthy didn't eat much meat. And so what they figured is they ate meat. This is red meat, beef, pork, poultry, about 5 times a month. And so a serving size would be about 3 ounces, about the size of the palm of your hand, five times a month. However, they also noted that these people ate fish 2 to 3 times a week. I don't know why they don't classify fish as meat. I tell people meat is anything that's got a face on it. And so eating fish, again, 2 to 3 times every week. That could be salmon, that could be sardines, mackerel, any of those healthy fat fish are going to be very healthy. The other thing that they noted is that these people in the longevity studies were eating an average of about 3 eggs a week. And that's what we encourage. If you cook your eggs so the yolk is a little bit runny, you're going to have the active lecithin. That's important. If somebody is struggling from adrenal fatigue, we'll up that to 12, even 18 eggs a week. And so again, we want to nourish our bodies. We want to take in the things that we need. As far as dairy is fairly minimal. You can enjoy some cheese, some sour cream, some yogurt, some kefir. But again, that's not going to be the major portion of your diet. We use those more as a condiment. As far as oils and vinegars, we have seen great success in people's lives with the Mediterranean diet, and using the extra virgin organic olive oil is very healthy. How much should you use? You could easily use about 2 tablespoons a day. And so if you're using 2 tablespoons a day of extra virgin olive oil, that's going to be about a quart every month. We also like coconut oil, and so again, healthy oils are encouraged. Apple cider vinegar, rice vinegar, balsamic vinegar. Using the vinegars is good as well. And so that's our diet in a nutshell. What you'll find if you go through the diet, through the lists, we'll have links that you can download the explanations of everything, as well as the checklist that I've been referencing. If you do this, you're going to fill your tummy, you're going to fill your life. Usually within a day or two, people are feeling much better. Again, whole natural foods. Of course, we focus on not eating the unhealthy things, and we won't go into that today. Most of you already know what you shouldn't be eating. We want to flood our bodies with healthy, nutritious food. And as we do that, we're going to increase our lifespan, we're going to increase our health span, we're going to be happier, we're going to be healthier. I'll go into more detail on the rest of the longevity and wellness plan next time, but I hope you give this a try. We also have these handouts in our latest edition of Healing in the Kitchen in the back of the book. If you don't have those handouts, give us a call. We'll make sure that you get them. Again, enjoy delicious food, delicious health. That's what we want for you. Thanks. If you enjoyed this video, share it with others, and hope to see you healthy and happy. Thanks.